I've closed more than 8 million in sales in the past 12 months as a high-ticket closer. And I didn't have to take a single sales call. While most reps are dealing with no-shows, spending hours and hours on Zoom, mastering their tonality, I'm closing 5 to 6-figure deals on my phone. Now I know this might sound too good to be true. So I'm gonna walk you through the exact sell by chat strategy I've used to close 8 million in the past 12 months. This way you'll see exactly how it works. Now before you start selling anything, you need to be able to find the people to talk to. Because sell by chat is completely different than just taking Zoom calls. You see, rather than having people book on your calendar, you need to go after people and message them. Most reps sit back and they just take the calls that land on their calendar. But when one of these calls is cancelled, they sit on their ass and do nothing at all. And that's the beauty of sell by chat. There's zero wasted time. Even if someone ghosts you, you just move on to the next conversation and the next conversation. So while a sales rep takes an entire hour of their day sitting with someone on a Zoom call trying to sell them, I'm using the exact hour to talk to 10, 15, 20 different prospects, nurturing them to buy. But that brings us to an important question. How do we actually find these people? Well, we have two available buckets, a cold market and a hot market. First, let's attack the cold market. And the cold market is anyone who comes in touch with your brand. So any notification can be turned into a conversation. So any new follower, any new comment that you get on your posts, any engagement, any story view, any story comment, all of these touch points can be turned into a sales conversation. All you have to do is use this script to reach out to them. Hey Chris, I appreciate the engagement. Are you just here for the content or are you looking to grow your business? And you customize that script accordingly depending on what you're selling. If you're a realtor, you can say something like this. Hey Chris, love that you're engaging in the properties that I posted. Are you just here to check things out or are you actually looking to buy a home? So you're being very simple, direct, but you're also giving them a split decision to choose between, yeah, I'm just casually browsing things, or you have an engaged buyer ready to start a conversation with you. So your homework for this one is go to your social media, it doesn't matter which one, and start at least 5 conversations a day with prospects. Remember, it can be people who commented, new followers, people who engage with your brand, people who liked your posts. Any notification must be turned into a conversation. Now moving on to your hot market. The hot market is people you already have in your database. This can be email, text, or any point of contact. So what you do with that is you want to run re-engagement campaigns. So if you have someone's text, you can put together something like this. Hey Chris, are you still looking to grow your sales? All you're looking for is a reply, yes. Now you have a re-engaged lead and you can walk them through the sales process. We're gonna cover that soon. What I commonly do within my sales process is anyone who no-showed, anyone who canceled or churned from a service, anyone who's active in my pipeline but I haven't talked to for months, they are a target of a re-engagement campaign. So I'm choosing to send a 9-word email like, are you still looking to? Or have you given up on? And I just include their goal. That's an easy way to get them to raise their hand again and re-enter the sales conversation. When you're reaching out to someone within the first phase, your goal isn't to make the sale. Your goal is to get them to raise their hand to initiate the conversation. Once you have the engagement, now we'll move to phase 2, which is the 9-word sales script. Now during phase 2, the goal is to qualify them properly and also sell them in my process through questions. Now, how does that work? The mistake most salespeople make here is they blindly follow a script and they force prospects to say things. So they shoehorn them saying the exact same thing to every single person. And that typically is the recipe for disaster because sales resistance goes up, the prospect doesn't feel heard or understood, and then they get ghosted. So instead, I like to follow a framework of 9 words. Here's how it starts. The first word is the opener. Don't be an asshole and start every single one of your sales calls asking, how's the weather? How are things over there? I like the painting on your wall. Instead, use what I call rapid rapport. You want to get to the point as quickly as possible so you can guide the prospect to their outcomes. So you can simply say after they reply to your initial opener, which will be something like, hey Chris, are you just here for the content or are you looking to grow your business? They're gonna reply with, yes, I'm looking to grow my business. Then your opener there is gonna be something like, okay, do you know what you're looking for specifically when it comes to growing your business? So that will help you extract what I call the overt outcome. What's top of mind for that person? What are they looking for? This question immediately focuses on the prospect's need, which is inside the world. That's the place they feel the safest. That's how you stand out from other salespeople, which immediately builds up trust. The second word is present, and this is where we want to get a pulse check of their current situation. The reason we do that is a lot of times when we talk to people, they're not even aware around their situation or the biggest problem. What they see is the symptom, but they don't realize how serious the situation can be. So when during the opener phase you ask them, do you know what you're looking for specifically? They might say something like, yes, I'm just looking to grow my sales. Now your present question will be something like, how are you getting sales right now? What I'm looking to see is what's their current vehicle that they're using to go from where they are to where they want to be. So if they say something like, yeah, I get sales through Facebook ads, I'm gonna ask them, well, do you like the results you're getting with Facebook ads? So that immediately gives me a pulse check of, are they aware of their present situation and are they satisfied by it? Then we move on to the third word, that is hell. And this is where we want to take them from their present situation and drag them into hell. The mistake a lot of people make here is they try to set fire on the prospect's world. I don't want to do that. That destroys trust in the prospect's brain. What I'm trying to do is, if a prospect is in a dark cave, I am looking to shine a flashlight and show them what's wrong with their current situation. So instead of just asking them shit like, what's your biggest challenge right now? Which immediately triggers them because I'm asking them a question that directly tries to poke holes in their wounds. Here's what I'm doing instead. After I ask them, do you like the results that you're getting from your Facebook ads? I'm gonna get a yes, a no, or a maybe. So when I get a no or a maybe, I'll ask them directly, okay, what would you change if you could? Well, they will say, my costs are too high. Now, what did I just find? That their hell is that they're overpaying on ads. And then through probing and clarifying, I will go deeper into their world and make them aware of what they're missing out right now. In the scenario where they say yes, all I need to do is reward them from that answer and say something like, yeah, that's perfect. I love that you have a channel that's working. If there was something that you would change to get better results, what would that be? And now they can say something like, well, yeah, we can always have more leads. What other channels do you guys use? And this is opening an opportunity for you to present other avenues. The fourth word is the gap. And this is where I want to build a data-driven gap between where they are and where they want to go. This isn't about building the vision or drawing back to their hell. This is about getting clear on statistics and logistics. So when the prospect clearly expresses where they are and where they want to go, there's a clear numerical difference. For example, when it comes to their weight, if you're a fitness trainer, you will say something like, okay, so you're at 200 pounds, where do you want to be? 150. Okay, so we need to lose 50 pounds here. If you're selling a business-related offer, you will ask them, okay, so you're running Facebook ads right now, help me understand, how many sales are you making right now from that? 5,000, okay? And if you had the perfect ad campaigns in place, where do you want to be? And they're gonna say 25,000. So I can clearly agree with that person that right now they don't have 20,000. The gap is clear. The fifth word here is prevent. And what I want to do in this process, I want you to picture, we have a prospect that has unleashed their hell. There is a clear gap between where they are and where they want to go. Now I need to understand what's been preventing them from fixing these issues on their own. And at the same time, we're gonna prevent objections that they might have. Why make objections and pain in the ass on the back end of the call when I can pre-handle them during, now that they're warm, ready, and they still don't have my pricing? So here are some questions that prevent some of the most common objections. For example, when it comes to the partner objection, ask them this. Oh, and I didn't ask, do you have a partner or you're running solo? If they say they have a partner, that's perfect. Now that you guys are working together, how does your partner feel about you wanting to grow the business or you wanting to lose that weight? You're immediately going to know if their partner is risk averse, if they want them to do it, and what's their stance on it. If you see that the prospect is someone who's been putting things off for a while, challenge them back with something like this. So it sounds like this problem has been going on for a while. Curious, why do you want to make this change now? Or you can say, is this a now or a later thing? If you see that that person is strapped for time, you need to disarm the time objection. So ask them this. And as we discussed, Chris, you're a busy man. So how do you feel you can resolve that, where you can find the time to fix these issues? Can you help me understand? And one of my favorites, this is the biggest objection you will get, the inertia objection. The inertia objection is their tendency to do nothing at all and just stay with their ways. If this is a common objection for you, use this question exactly. Okay, Mr. Prospect, I mean, besides what we covered already, what's the biggest reason why you might be looking for additional help now, rather than just double down with what you're currently doing. Now, what does that question do? It forces them to sell themselves on exactly what you sell. Number 6 is heaven. And this is where I need to paint a picture of their dream world. How do they want life to be? Now, we talked about the gap. And in our example, the prospect was making 5,000, they need to get to 25,000. But we're not gonna stop there. When I'm painting the vision, I will ask them, so if we were to work together, what are the ideal outcomes in the next 12 months? Well, I told you to make 25,000. I understand. Besides that, what would achieving 25,000 actually do for you though? Because at the end of the day, it's numbers and zeros in a bank account, but what does that actually do for you? Well, it will help me buy my favorite car, provide for my family. And what would those things do for you, maybe personally though? What would that help you achieve? Well, I will feel proud of myself because I'm making more money and I feel this and I feel that. 100% respect that. As you might understand, what got you here won't get you there. So to get to that 25K a month, who do you need to become and how do you need to show up as to actually get there? What am I doing here? I'm anchoring a new identity for that person's heaven. I'm showing them that without the necessary changes, personally, they're not gonna achieve their target. So now it's inevitable. If they need to go after that goal, they need to become the person who invests in themselves. Can you see how I anchor them to invest in themselves on the back end of the call? The 7th word is nightmare. And now that I've built up their emotional temperature up high and they're literally in their heaven, I'm gonna drag them back down. That's the emotional roller coaster and friction that creates the sale. So I will ask them directly, well, what happens if you don't make a change though? Things stay exactly where you are, you keep making 5,000 only for the next 6, 12, 24 months. This creates immense urgency in the prospect's mind and they're forced to make a change. Once I build up the nightmare, word number 8 is cure. And after we've put together the top 3 problems the prospect has, we need to connect it with 3 solutions our offer provides. Now, how we do it through Sell by Chat is we always sell with an offer doc. And this is an offer doc that we send to everyone. I don't take the time to customize the Google Doc for every single prospect. However, what I do customize is the pre-pitch, what I tell them before they read the document. So here's what that looks like. Mr. Prospect, you mentioned that you have challenge number 1. We fixed that with fix number 1. You have challenge number 2. We fixed that with fix number 2, number 3, number 3. So essentially, I'm directing their focus on how to read the Google Doc so they can focus on only the sections that make sense for them. It's just like you're going to a doctor's office with a broken arm. They're not gonna show you every freaking operation and every single medicine you can take for it. They're gonna show you specifically the cast that's gonna work best for you, along with the painkillers that you have to take. You have a specific problem and they're prescribing a specific solution, and we're doing the same. The last and final word is decide. In the decide phase, we don't need to push. All we need is a nudge, to nudge the prospect to the direction that they want to go. So a simple question here is, hey Chris, what's the best next step for us? This question invites them to make a decision without applying pressure. This 9-word framework has helped me close millions in sales. But I couldn't have done that without this next step. And that's a Google offer doc. For our pitch and presentation, all we need to do is present to the prospect an offer doc. I don't care to hop on the phone with them and present and play the dancing monkey. What I need to create is leverage, and how I do it is in a beautiful, elegant way. I outline my program or my offer in a Google Doc. I never send people to a landing page because that's just distracting. They click around and they end up on YouTube. Instead, I always use a Google Doc because it feels much personal. It's as if I wrote a personal offer for them and I'm extending it without any links, without any distractions. It's just them, the offer, and their decision. It's an invitation that feels personal, answers all objections in advance, and makes saying yes as the obvious next step. Now, how do we exactly structure the Google Doc? The first section we're gonna call what's happening. So we're gonna frame this as an event. You're not selling them something, you're inviting them to be a part of something. So you can write something like, I'm putting together 5 people to help them double their sales within the next 30 days without taking more sales calls. It's simple, it's direct, and it's focused on a specific outcome thereafter. Section 2 is what makes this different. And this is where you explain why this offer is actually unique. How are you different than anyone else in the marketplace. So you want to explain it as something that they haven't tried before while killing any other option they have. So you can outline any other options they have and list the negatives that come with it. So if you have a YouTube agency, you can talk about how Facebook ad agencies rip you off because you overpay for retainers. And organic is very inconsistent because the algorithms always change. So this is your opportunity to position yourself as unique. Section 3 is your unique promise. You make it speak directly to them and you show them that you understand their situation. How you're gonna create this section is you're gonna list all the features that your product offers and you're gonna follow this formula. Future that leads to benefit, that leads to what's gonna do for you. So you're getting a mastermind program that's gonna help you feel a sense of accountability so you can show up daily and do the work. You also have a lead generation engine that's gonna create leads for you on autopilot so you can have 5 extra clients a month. So it's all connected. I never wanna see a naked future. I'm just putting together a fucking group. There needs to be a reason for that group existing and how this will benefit them in their day-to-day life. Section 4 is all about proof. So you need to show case studies, testimonials, and ideally results in written and video form. The more specific the results are, and the closer they are to the person that's reading that document, the better. So if you're selling to single mothers, it won't be the best idea to have testimonials of people driving trucks. Try to make it as close to your ideal avatar as possible. The next section is why now? And this is your opportunity to create that sense of final urgency in the document. Now, I don't want you to offer fast action discounts or any crap like that. You want to make them aware about the market changes and why now is the time to take action. You can write something like, every day you wait, it's another day that you're leaving money on the table and you connected with the market events. If you're selling a business related offer, you can say something like, every day you wait, the AI revolution is happening and bots are taking your jobs. Section 9 is investment and risk reversal. This is where you present your pricing and you connect it with a guarantee that you can offer. You can present it like this. So what's needed for you to double your revenue without doubling your working hours? The investment is $10,000. And if you don't see results in 60 days, we'll work with you until you do. This way, you're framing the investment around a specific benefit. You're not just throwing the price blindly at them. Finally, the last section is Q&A and next steps. You're not just gonna use Q&A to answer random questions. You're gonna use them for pre-handling objections. So any question that you brainstorm they might have, you put it down, and what you're going to do is any objection that you get in a consistent basis, you're gonna turn it into a question and it should be pre-handled in this section in the doc. At the end, you invite them to reach out. So you say exactly this. Once you've read all the details, reply back with I'm in and I'll send you the enrollment details. This will tell you immediately who your most interested prospects are, so you don't need to follow up with them. And that's the exact system I'm using to close millions of dollars without taking a single sales call. If you want to see the 20 sales lessons I needed to know in my 20s, watch this video right here and I'll see you there.